Well, I was found out what was causing the focus problem. You just missed a good presentation. Earlier, I had somebody in a crew cab, bronze, big ass truck, kept circling around here, lights off, kind of like an intimidation, creepy factor. And then a little while after that, a guy stopped in like a little, a compact. I think it was red, 4 door. Got out. I can see him. I didn't have my glasses on. I'm watching videos and stuff like that. Had to reach up and get my glasses. About the time I'm starting to get my glasses on, he calls out in kind of a flat, monotonal, almost cop-like. He exactly said, "What's your name?" And as he approached, I said, "Obviously, you're not a native Texan, because a native Texan would have said, 'Hi, my name's Kent. Mind if I ask your name, or may I ask your name?'" It actually is, "May I ask your name?" And his name turned out to be Roger. I was teaching him a little bit of Texas etiquette and stuff. And I can actually tell it's the front flashlight by the dual cameras, 50 megapixels in front at night, or I'd rather have the lower definition, let you see. Actually, I did a very cool unboxing. There's the bag, and those are spinach. I'm leaving out all sorts of stuff. It was a pretty short conversation. He even said, "Well, if you don't want it, I know somebody I can give it to," something like that. And then after he said that, and actually I was kind of, I never took full receipt of it. I kind of was touching it. I had like, my broke arm up under it, and my other hand on top of that bag, which was stacked up. It had I shall have to reach over here for, it's looked like a fairly large amount of food. So you, as he started to kind of move away, and it was, "Would you like some bread?" And I thought he was kind of joking on, because actually he stuck his left hand in his pocket or something. And we had a discussion about me being, I was trying to get through to him that I'm worried about. I'm a Jew, number one. I'm homeless. I've been poisoned in the streets. I'm trying to get through a rather brief conversation that I had with him to kind of, I didn't like the way you're behaving, Roger. You're kind of a little too antsy, and your laughter seemed to be having effective kind of stuff. But I just did a great, but the flashlight helped me to see it, but up close and stuff. But on top of that box was this, and I can actually see they've tried to maintain some kind of sterility. I don't see any like spoon and fork marks on stuff, and I've had people hand me their leftovers. That's what he called it at first, leftovers. After I pointed out that I could tell that from the get-go that he wasn't a native Texan, he wasn't from here, and I was kind of trying to let him know I'm kind of was put off by the way he. You just don't walk up to a native Texan and demand to know his name unless you like smile and say, "Sir." You can't just don't do it. That's rude as shit. And I guess I should finish the point. Was he had he was still holding like the package with on his right hand, balancing it on his right hand, and he had his hand sticking in his left pocket when he said, he's kind of leaning his head side one way. I wish I had this on me, because I'm mimicking what he said. "Well, you want some bread?" And I said, with his hand in his pocket, I'm going, "You mean green bread or wheat bread, or what kind of bread we talking about?" Because I'd certainly be receptive to the green bread, because it's real unlikely you're going to get enough fucking poison on some of that green, cotton linen paper to kill me, unless you really know what you're doing as a chemist and know that palms sometimes sweat or damp. But the bread was actually inside the bag already. Never seen nothing like this before. See, I'm getting good focus now because it's the lights right and the. This was obviously split before baking. These 3 cuts were cut after baking, but this seems to be some kind of factory-made dough. They doesn't appear to have an egg wash. It's kind of got a shiny surface there, and it appears from the knurling, the dimpling, that this was baked in some. And actually, because this right here kind of gives it that almost like a factory appearance and stuff. And you'll notice that this knurling on the bottom, see, I get up there close enough. Yeah, you can see that. See all those kind of. It's uneven. It's highest in the middle. It looks like it was actually multiple loaves that were baked in a bigger pan and then removed and stuff. And this I examined closely. It looked like there could be a possibility of, tooth marks here and there, but it's hard to. It looks like somebody could have also just stuck their right thumb in and peeled a piece off. Why the fuck would you do that when before you package this up, you could have just neatly sliced it off? I don't get that. You're giving me something that looks like somebody stuck their nasty fucking thumb in it, Roger. That's what it looks like. I'm doing it left-handed, but right-handed looks like somebody just broke. So no go on that, right? And this is some sort of a seafood because that was flaky. It could be some kind of crab or lobster. It could even be, but this is a pasta, the kind of that shell pasta dish with smells lovely, good aroma. There's like some seafood at the bottom, and then has a cheesy smell. That's what we'd call a white sauce. You can actually see the mark at which the spoon somebody ladled it in. It's overall, I'd say for compared to some of the shit I've seen, it doesn't look like, except for the bread, doesn't look like anybody's actually had their hand in the shit. The beef was apparently probably cooked at home, or at least cooked on somebody. It looks like pretty decent beef. It's not so moist that it could be covered with syrup of ipecac or something, but it's been it's actually cooked to see the pink. That's actually the way I like it. Actually, I like mine bloody rare. And you see the grill marks right there. Yeah, it looks like almost a home grill. Looks like a home cooked meal. And there's a second piece of beef. And then we come to I already covered the seafood salad pasta thing. Then we come to the pièce de résistance, or as I prefer to say, the piece of merde, the French word for shit. Now this is a lovely smelling. That's not vinaigrette. That's not I smell no vinegar, no lemon juice. Don't smell anything acidic. This is baby spinach wilted in a special flavored oil. Real gourmet cooking here. But that's right there is the perfect place to hide a full bottle. A bottle of syrup of ipecac is pretty small. Let me get my fingers in front of the camera. A bottle of ipecac, well, I got big fingers and big hands. A 1-dose bottle of syrup of ipecac is only about that big. And that's perfect to hide that in. And by the way, Roger, at your age, you're supposed to at least have hung around and met somebody like me that tell you don't eat leafy greens. They increase clotting. That right there is enough in an old person. I already have a clotting problem to cause a clot, a stroke, or a heart attack. Right there. That's enough of leafy greens. Leafy greens are toxic as shit. I don't want to really get into having to turn this into another educational video. But Roger, pretty much everything you did just spooked me off. I mean, you might be higher level. You might have just been the flunky. At dinner, they was figuring out where to put because, they can have aromas or smells, cyanide, arsenic. They're all, unless heated or, other things, they're all, a lot of poisons are absolutely tasteless and stuff. You don't really get to fully, smell, like this, was it arsenic or cyanide until it's been selenium. It's also tasteless unless it'll give off an odor or a taste. Most of the taste is an odor when it's heated. This stuff is all delivered cold, which is the perfect way to deliver a lot of poisons that really don't have any taste or not much bitterness. And so, I can't believe anybody. This is what you feed to your dinner. The beef stuff is dinner. I've already had a can. I've already had 12 ounces of beef today that I got at Walmart for $3.74. 12 ounces of beef and beef broth with no additives, no chance, because it's randomly, no chance of poisoning me. Roger, you really tweaked me out because you kind of invaded my space, and this is a business. It is a public invite, but it's been closed for hours. And from what she says, she's the agent of the owner, and I have their express permission to sleep nearby this exact location I'm in. And so I put when I was reaching in there, I felt something that looked like what else was in this bag other than let's give him one last. I thought I felt something in there, but I think all I'm seeing is dampness or moisture. Sometimes they tell me don't throw away the bag, because I will. I'll just toss it immediately, like right out of the parkway. Especially if it's a paper bag, it's going to be, I'm not seeing. Yep. No cash, no actual, and that I wouldn't touch ever. Don't eat it anyway. Don't eat leafy greens. I don't even like to see a piece of fucking, and down in Austin, they got nothing but that nasty feels, the texture and feel, that baby romaine lettuce, which has become like all the fad everywhere. They stopped using. No, if I'm going to eat a sandwich, it's got something at the least toxic, I'm pretty sure, is going to be the inner leaves of the iceberg lettuce. That piece of bread, don't ever give me nothing that looks like somebody stuck their fucking thumb into it. You know how much crap's under people's fingernails? I've never seen bread like this before in my life. I have really thought I'd eaten every kind of, this looks like some kind of commercially, and it's got to be, barely even smells like bread. Let's open it up. Let's see if there's any moist spots in here. Nope. Please, I have a really killer juice sense of smell. Even commercial bread has more aroma than that. It's almost odorless. You can tell it was not even allowed to properly rise or whatever or something. It was only needed, it was once, allowed to rise once. My mother always used to knock it down 3 times, so actually it means it rose 4 times. And my mother used to make the best bread on earth. If I sound picky, it's because I've been poisoned on the streets of Austin several times. I know right now in Pflugerville, a shit ton of Pflugerville Karens, one church lady, one guy who's a techie, yada yada. There's a bunch of people that really fucking hate my ass. I mean, why am I getting pretty good, I'm gonna turn it off. Why am I getting pretty good focus now? I don't get that. I've never actually seen a piece of bread like this in my whole life. Like I said, it was baked. You have to put this slice in order to achieve this texture. This has to be done before baking. It may have come like that frozen. That's what I got a feeling that this was like a frozen loaf that was maybe in some kind of little shell that was just microwavable. That deal was marked microwavable. But this other stuff looks like it was homemade. Don't know, not for sure. There you go. That's where that belongs. And I told him, I said, you do understand that means I've got to make a special trip. I'm going to be stuck here all night, with a bag of trash looking like I'm building a camp here. I'm not. I leave this place spotless every time. I pick up other people's trash around here. And here I am looking like I've just had some kind of drunken feast as I examine whether or not somebody's giving me poison shit. And that's only about, it's not even quite, that's about 14 ounces of beef. I've already had 12 ounces in a can today. He paid more for it. It may taste a little better, maybe not. But it's real easy to inject meat with completely tasteless, lethal poisons. The world, actually, this whole area, Austin vicinity, is at war against all the homeless, mooching, thieving, shooting. This is going to be a record year for homicide. Homeless meth heads and shit, and male gay prostitutes like the ones that robbed me and tried to kill me on the night of June 14th, June 15th. That kind of that seafood pasta shell mix stuff smells and looks delicious. I love fish. I get the imitation crab every time I go to Walmart, Lewis Kemp, because it's made with potato starch and not wheat starch. But that appeared to be real fish in there. But yet didn't look real because it had kind of looked like it either had to be like red snapper, something like that, or it had to have red dye applied on one side of it. And the beef looks excellent, but what I'm going to have is I'm going to have some randomly selected, not handed to me by a guy who approaches me going, "What's your name?" Or not, no, I'm saying it too friendly. "What's your name?" That's the way he said it, more dead and flat like a cop. "What's your name?" And I didn't say shit until he got up to me, and as he got up close, I said, "What's your name?" And I said, "I know you're not from Texas because I actually made him tell me his name first. I'm a Texan. You don't come up on me and shit. And you don't do the shit that's been done to me in this town. In this town. There have been good people here, and there have been people here that have been trying to take over my life or convert me to Christianity and shit, or kill me. It's slower than Austin, that away, and shit. I'm enjoying the relative peace and quiet. I've slept more in the last 4 months than I have in, oh gosh, probably certainly the last 2.5 plus 2.5 years as being homeless. So I don't care if this takes 21, 22 minutes. And shit, I haven't run out of memory yet. It would have already warned me. So please, holiday season's coming up. I know you carry plastic and you don't carry green, but you can get it. Trust me, you can get a hold of currency. And currency really can't carry much poison. It's portable, and I can buy foods that I'm not terrified by, like that piece of odorless, colorless. Don't eat that shit. Wouldn't there, you know, obviously this guy's husband or his wife or whatever prepared a nice meal, because he said it was his wife. It goes, where's he at? He's gone or whatever. I must have been, they'd come back from Oklahoma. This was a real rapid fire conversation. I mean, this stuff happened in about 3 minutes or less, and he was gone. His urgency to get away from the scene of the crime is the thing that bothers me most. Most people chat with me for at least a few minutes. And then I didn't mention that after telling him that, the reason that I'm here is still stuck here. He was asking why I was here so long and stuff. So they've been going back and forth between Oklahoma and stuff, is that have a broken arm and a shredded up rotator cuff and like that. And I really didn't say anything that funny. And yet he just slapped the hell out of me. I think like not once, but like 2 pops in a row. Actually, it was 2 pops in a row. Pop, pop, right to the fucking break into the rotator cuff. Roger, don't come back, honestly. I hope this gets to you through the web. I'm trying to figure out, I know y'all can communicate through the Neighbor app discreetly, so I can't obtain your private messages. Y'all can certainly do it if y'all have each other's emails and shit. But there are plenty of groups where you can private message within that group, where it's apparently not all of it is public. But somebody ratted you out the other day. Is that somebody made a post on Nextdoor app about helping the guy that sits under the tree at Starbucks, which is what this guy's doing. And somebody then said, no, don't help him. He's well educated. I know I'm smart enough not to take a Trojan horse. It could be full of poison. I've told you fuckers about poisoning. I threw away a bag of Taco Bell yesterday. Heaved it not just because of the ants, because they're wrapped, they're not sealed, they're openly wrapped, they're so easy to adulterate, add poison to, and shit. And certainly the big soda pop, there's enough room in there for an entire bottle of Miralax. I'm going to get ruder, just like I was with Roger tonight. I was quite rude to the man. That's perhaps why he wanted to leave. I think he realized as he got up that him standing up, he's not really that much taller than me, maybe an inch or two. And if I stand up, I'm going to be at least 10 inches taller than him. He did understand that I could get up and walk around. And Roger, one of the reasons when you came up, I was getting my glasses from there, and I was leaning forward because I was getting ready to grab that. Always keep it near me, because I know how to fight with a short stick. I'm trained in the short stick and the long stick. I'd have killed you in a fucking heartbeat. If you said one more fucking wrong thing to me, Roger, that's legal. That's not a weapon until I use it as a weapon. I've used chopsticks as a weapon. No shit. They're highly lethal. So I hope y'all have a good night, Pflugerville, and happy holidays and happy profiteering, Starbucks. I will say this about Starbucks. I've never seen a building that small and stuff that receives so little merchandise makes that much money and do it so efficiently and stuff. I know their profit margin is bigger than any other in other restaurants and stuff. It's because they really do have a lot of shishi clients got to have their expensive Starbucks, and they're making a higher profit margin than probably most restaurants around here, and their food is all delivered from a truck right there. There's nothing cooked inside there, and not even the beans. So that's it. 26 minutes of you're just pissing me off, Pflugerville. This morning, somebody who was, I will finish with this. I think I already talked about it. This morning, a the guy leaned over and said, "Hey, you want a breakfast sandwich?" I just got through eating. I said, "No, I just got through eating some canned beef." And then later, his wife came out and they brought me. I think I mentioned this before. I'll do it anyway. She brought me anyway because and it was acceptable to me because the fats were minimal, and it was a butter croissant with bacon, plenty of bacon, egg, nice egg cooked, egg not greasy, and double cheddar. And that's real cheddar, not American toxic vegetable oil, not American processed cheese. I can tell the difference between real cheddar and synthetic cheese. That's it. Roger, you really fucking pissed me off, and you took over my life for damn near an hour by the time I get this uploaded and shit. And I'm stuck now, motherfucker, with a bag full of a weak bag that won't even hold it. I have to use one of my fucking bags to put your fucking trash in and be fucking carrying some, I swear to God, the next time somebody insists on handing me some shit that's unsealed crap from some, restaurant that I know is just ass deep in fucking vegetable oil and bad cooking and shit like that, I'm going to graciously accept, "Oh, thank you so much, God bless you," and just throw the motherfucking bag as far as I can heave it away from me. Simple as that. I've waved people off. I've been trying to get the message through to you. You people gossip your asses off. I already had one woman approach me a long time ago. A black woman came up in a Cadillac and came out and said, "I'd like to speak to you." And I said, she told me you got quite a reputation here for turning down, food and drink and even cash. And I said, "Yeah, that's true." And we chatted a little bit and stuff like that. And then she whooped me out like a $5. She knows I don't want somebody else picking out my fucking food. I don't really. Roger, you pissed me off. A lot of you Pflugervillians are pissing me off. It's still not as bad as Austin. Still not as bad as Austin. Don't know where the hell I'd go right now with this current war, global war against Jews going on anywhere. My only saving grace is I'm one of those Jews that was protected by the laws and the lawmen of the state of Texas from being circumcised when I was a child. Plus, as I said before, my mother had the first 7 children at home, and she actually delivered me in the hospital without the assistance of it. She actually told, this is how this is going to end. She actually told the nurse, "You get out of here and let me have my baby." By the time Dr. Smith, Joe Smith, ever got there, she already had me cleaned up, herself cleaned up, and I was getting a belly full of colostrum. That was my mother, motherfuckers.